Hi kids! We are so excited you joined us today. Welcome to worship.
Join us in a worship song.
The Bible, yes, that's the book for me. I stand alone on the word of God, the Bible.
Corinthians 16:13. Be on your guard. Stand firm in the faith. Be courageous. Be strong.
Let's find out what today's big idea is.
Welcome back to Breaking News Studio at ST Kids. Remember, we're talking about breaking moments in the Bible when God chose to share news through the prophets. Today's prophet is going to talk about following our leader. Who is our ultimate leader? That's right, our leader is God. All month long, we're talking about breaking news and things you might see in the news. In a newspaper, there is a section called the Classifieds. That is where someone might be able to find jobs from people and companies looking to hire work. Some of these jobs are for people who take care of animals. How many of you have a pet at home? Who helps take care of your pet? Maybe your mom and dad and you, or your brother and sister. Sometimes we are the ones who lead our pets. When we take our dog out for a walk, we lead the dog on the leash. When we have a treat for our cat, we lead the cat to where the treat is. Does anyone know what kind of animal a shepherd leads and watches over? Shepherds lead sheep. Turns out sheep need to be led quite a lot. If there was a classified ad for a shepherd, what do you think it would say? What kind of person would they be looking for? What do you think, sheep? Who would you want to be your shepherd? What type of person? A shepherd needs to be patient. It needs to be caring, loving, firm, and protective. The shepherd has a really important job of protecting the sheep from wolves or other creatures that might try to attack them. Well, my friends, did you know that Jesus is a lot like our shepherd? He protects us from sin and temptation. He protects us, loves us, cares for us, and is so patient with us. And at the end of the day, make sure we're led back to a safe place. Thank you, Mr. Sheep. For this next game we're going to play, it's going to be a little interesting. If you want to answer with a no, you smile. If you want to answer with a yes, you frown. Okay? So no is a smile, yes is a frown. Our first question. Have you ever lost something important to you? Have you ever lost your favorite toy? Have you ever lost your favorite sweater or jacket? What about your socks? How many of your socks don't match? Have you ever lost money? There's a reason why we're making a frowny face for the answer yes. When we lose something, especially something of value to us, it can make us sad. When we lose something important to us, we search high and low to find it, and we don't stop until it's found. Sometimes, my friends, we are like lost sheep. We need a guide. We make mistakes and mess up at times, but God still loves us. God is still willing to guide us when we are lost. That is something to celebrate. In the Bible, Psalm 95, 1-7. Psalm 95, 1-7. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is the great God and the great King above all gods. In his hands are the depths of the earth. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us bow down and worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. Verse 7 reminds us that God is our shepherd. Just like it says, we are the sheep under God's care. When we are lost, in the sense that we don't know what the right thing to do is, or we're not sure of what God wants us to do, instead of just trying to feel our way around, by giving it our best guess, we need to practice listening for God's voice, just like the sheep do with their shepherd.
Let's see what our friends on Grow TV have to say.
Oh, hey there, little chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl, and I'm here. Well, I'm not sure where here is.
Welcome to Grow TV, hosted by Carl, where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now, once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Hey, Carl. Carl? I wonder if I can call him from here.
Cassie, thank goodness, I need your help.
Where are you? We're supposed to have started Grow TV. I can't do this without you.
I think you might have to, Cassie. I don't know where I am.
What do you mean?
I'm lost. It's dark, creepy, and to be honest, I forgot my deodorant this morning, so I'm a little bit stinky.
Yuck.
You're telling me wearing the sweater feels and smells like a crochet blanket around a dumpster on a hot day.
Ew, gross. So how'd you get lost?
I don't know. I hate missing Grow TV.
Well, let's retrace your steps. What's the last thing you remember?
All right. I was sitting there waiting for Grow TV to start. I was playing that game where I act like my thumbs are real people. Remember that game?
Yeah, I remember. What happened next?
Well, then I said to myself, I'm hungry. So I decided to go to the fridge and try to find myself something to eat.
Okay.
When I got there, I couldn't believe what I saw.
What was it?
Something so glorious, so beautiful, so magnificent.
Carl.
It was ice cream. A whole pint of ice cream.
Oh no, you ate all of it, didn't you?
I ate all of it. I walked around and ate the whole thing. Then the next thing I know, I got super tired and then I woke up in here.
Where's here?
I don't know. It's dark. I can't see. I'm lost, Cassie.
You sound a lot like what Ezekiel wrote about in this week's story.
What do you mean?
Well, in Ezekiel chapter 34, verses 11 through 16, we hear a lot about people being lost.
Really? People were lost? Even in the Bible?
They sure were. You see, the leaders of that time hadn't done a great job leading the people to follow God well. And when you don't have a good leader, what do you think happens?
You eat ice cream till you eventually fall asleep in an unknown location?
Well, I suppose, but you get lost. And a lot of people back in Ezekiel's times were lost.
That must be awful. I can't imagine what it would be like to be lost. What? What? Oh, I am lost. And it does feel awful. So what happened next?
Well, the passage goes on to talk about sheep and how sheep need a shepherd in order to stay with their family and friends, so they don't get lost.
Man, I wish I had a shepherd.
That's the thing, Carl. You do. You know who it is?
Captain America?
No, it's God. God is our shepherd.
Oh, duh. Of course. So do you mean that God is going to help me from getting lost?
Well, in life we may take the wrong turn down a hallway or make a bad decision, forget to speak up after seeing a friend get bullied. But God will always direct our paths and help us when we get lost in our lives.
Wow, that makes me feel so much better. Still smells like bad cheese in here, but I really do feel better knowing that when I'm lost, God guides me.
Carl, you just said our big idea.
What?
Today's big idea is, when I'm lost, God guides me.
So let's say it out loud on the count of 3. Ready? 1,
2,
3. When I am lost, God guides me. Woohoo!
So we know God's going to guide us through our life. But how do you think you're going to guide yourself out of wherever you're at, Carl?
Cassie, I really don't know. I guess I've just accepted my fate, and I'll live here for...
Carl?
Andy!
What are you doing?
Andy! I'm finally free! Thank you! That's all, kids. See you next week.
Why are you in a mop closet?
I don't know.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Grow TV.
Hello, this is Emily Emerson again, bringing you news from the prophet. This time we're going to hear from Ezekiel from Judah. Ezekiel was from Judah and lived during a really tough time in history. During that time, the people had been living in a way that did not honor God. All of the people of Judah had been exiled to a place called Babylon. Exiled means sent away from the place you live. This already sounds like some bad news. However, the breaking news that Ezekiel has turns out to be good. Let's hear what he has to say. Ezekiel, what does God want to share with us today?
This is what the sovereign Lord says. Woe to the shepherds of Israel, who only take care of themselves. Should not shepherds take care of their flock? You eat the curds, clothe yourselves with the wool, and slaughter the choice animals, but you do not take care of the flock? You have not strengthened the weak, or healed the sick, or bound up the injured. You have not brought back the strays, or searched for the lost. You have ruled them harshly and brutally, so they were scattered because there was no shepherd. And when they were scattered, they became food for all the wild animals. My sheep wandered all over the mountains and on every hill. They were scattered over the whole earth, and no one searched to look for them.
Wow, that sounds like God is not happy with the leaders.
That's right. God feels like the leaders have not been doing their job leading the people well. But God will take care of his people anyway.
That is good news. Anything else?
Therefore, you shepherds, hear the words of the Lord. As surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, because my flock lacks a shepherd and so has been plundered and has become food for all the wild animals, and because my shepherds did not search for my flock, but cared for themselves rather than for my flock, therefore, O shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against the shepherds and will hold them accountable for my flock. I will remove them from tending the flock so that the shepherds can no longer feed themselves. I will rescue my flock from their mouths, and it will no longer be food for them.
Can you tell us more about that?
They will have taken advantage of their people who can't help or defend themselves, but God will take care of all the sheep or God's people. God alone is the judge of who is worthy of care, and God will take care of everybody.
Thank you, Ezekiel, for that good news from God. This is Emily Emerson signing off until next time. Let's think about it like this. God is the shepherd, and the people are God's sheep. God spoke through Ezekiel, sharing a message of hope. Ezekiel was saying that even though the people were like lost sheep, God would bring them back to where they needed to be. What can we learn from Ezekiel's breaking news? Since we're talking about shepherds today we're going to play our own little shepherding game. So in your Sunday Funday bag, there is a white balloon that you can blow up and draw a little sheep face on. So our special sheep balloons. How we're going to play this game is me and my friend are going to start on one end of the stage and try to get our sheeps into their sheep pen by using a paper as a fan. So we're not going to use our hands. We're not going to be able to touch them. We're going to try to get them into their special sheep pen. Let's go. For our craft today, we're going to be creating our very own little sheep because we're learning that Jesus is like our shepherd. So in your Sunday bags, there are these little lace doilies. Some of you have a smaller one and some of you might have a medium one for your sheep size. And this is going to be the sheep's body, and I'll show you how to do that. You also have a cutout that you can color of the sheep's face, ears, and legs. I'm using black construction paper, but you will have a white piece of paper and you can color in the different body parts and cut them out. You also have some googly eyes for our sheep's eyeballs in your bag, and you will need some glue or glue dots or sticky tape to put it all together. So I'm going to show you how to do this and we're going to get started. Dear God, thank you for being our shepherd. We sometimes feel like we've lost our way, but instead of losing hope or feeling down, help us to remember that when we are lost, you guide us. Amen. And now, let's go to Buddy Butterson for today's weather report. Buddy, to you. Great. Thank you, Buddy Butterson.